Hey y'all, and welcome to the Hillbilly Chicken Ranch. I'm Susan, your hostess, and y'all, we got a lot of herbs from our garden this year and more coming in. I've got to work through these. The garden is winding down, and I need to get these jarred up and get them into my pantry for long-term storage. This is Frugal Living Challenge 25, hosted by me, the Hillbilly Chicken Ranch. It is an open collaboration through the month of December. All you have to do is add a hashtag Frugal Living Challenge 25 to your video, along with tagging me, the Hillbilly Chicken Ranch, and the official playlist, of course, should be in your description box below. And I will add you to the playlist. So I have pulled out my big bowl and a colander, and let's look at what we've got here. We've got a lot of hyssop. Oh. And this one is all catnip. Catnip, catnip, catnip. I've got some citronella. I've got some lemon balm. More lemon balm. I've got some sage. Chocolate mint. And dill. Of course, I'm not going to be able to do all of this on camera, but I figured I'd start with the two that are the most prolific right now, which is the catnip and the hyssop. So I'm going to set these aside. And I did get the baskets at Dollar Tree, and you can do either method. I've got the little baskets, and I can hang these in my kitchen on my little racks that I've got up here with an S-hook. And so I labeled my basket so I know what herbs to put in them. I put a paper towel in the bottom and on top of the herb as it's drying. The other method that I use, and I actually use three methods. I actually hang them and just let them dry naturally. But this one is bagged up, and you go and you shake it daily until it dries completely, and you leave it up as long as you need to. We live in a very humid air, and so we need it to, we need to make sure it's good and dry before we start working with it. So both of these are not the most pleasant smelling herbs to work with, but we're going to get started, and I'm going to show you what I do. All right. I knotted this to keep it from falling off of the bag. So I'm just going to loosen that knot. There we go. This is catnip, and I actually double bagged this one because it went into the bag wet. All right, I'm going to strip them off the stems. That's all I'm doing with this right now. And I can use catnip for my cat. It is a natural flea deterrent for the cat and an aphrodisiac. And I could use it for tea for me. It has medicinal values. You can look that up on your own. So the stems I can throw into my compost pile, or I could feed them to the chickens, whatever I decide to do. But basically, this is all I'm going to be doing with most of these herbs, is trying to get them off the stems. And there's some flowers in here because when I picked them, they were flowering, so there's going to be flowers in here. And we're just going to work through this. Now, depending on how fine you want your catnip, you can work it through the colander. Just, rubbing it. I'm really not concerned too much with how fine this is going to be, because it's going to be probably used in a tea or fed to the cat. So you want to make sure you're getting them off the stems. And I'm going to work through this off camera, the rest of it, because I've got quite a bit. But it looks pretty good so far. Let me show you the basket, because this was in the paper bag. Let me get rid of the rest of these little stems I'm seeing in here. So that looks pretty good. I've got 2 more bags to go through of that. And this is the basket. And really and truly, the basket looks healthier and not as brown as the bag, but it doesn't really matter which one you use. They both are fine. So let me just pull this over. And I can throw the paper towels out. And I stack my baskets for next year's use. This is brown waste. I can put this into the compost bin. The string is a GIMP. It's natural, and so is the paper bag, so that can go into the compost bin along with these. So it doesn't take very long to go through these. It's just finding time to do it. And I've really had to wait until my garden is almost completely done to get to this, because I had so much produce coming in on a daily basis. So if you have to put off your dehydrated herbs, that's perfectly okay. And this is really pretty, the way this looks. So let's just get through this real quick off camera, and I'll be back and show you how much I got out of this. 2 quarts catnip. When doing multiple types of dried herbs, you want to make sure that you're wiping your bowl out after each use, washing your hands after each use. Funnel and your colander. That way you're not contaminating from one herb to the next. So the next herb will be hyssop. I'm going to work through all of this. I'm going to come back at the end, but I want to show you the difference in the hyssop. This is dried in the bag. And this is anise hyssop, by the way. It smells heavenly. A little bit like licorice. So this one actually looks better. I think this is the last one that I dried. And this is the one in the basket. So this last one looks very similar to the basket. And it's the same thing. You're just going to strip it off of the stems. This has got seed in it. If you want to separate your seed, you can do that. So we'll be back when all of this is done and all my other herbs are done. Well, a couple of hours of work has gone by since I last talked to you. And I was able to get 2 quarts of catnip. One quart of hyssop. A pint of lemon balm. A pint of chocolate mint. Almost a pint of citronella. And a half pint of dill weed. The sage wasn't quite dry. I've got other herbs that I need to work through as well. I recently harvested basil and I have it all over my kitchen. But this one is also sweet basil. Some parsley. And these are hardneck garlic seeds that I will be planting in my fall-winter garden. What are you doing with all your herbs in your garden this year? Hey friends, thank you so much for watching my channel. Thank you for the many comments, the likes, the friendships, and for sharing this content out. Take a moment and watch all of the advertisements because that is how I get monetized and get paid. I appreciate each and every one of you for your time and your patience. And y'all, I have this special content over here I think you might like.